Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm here with some Commander deck decks, and today's deck is a card that I won in a draft. Took part in a Magic Lord of the Rings draft the other week, and I actually won the draft, which was a bit of a miracle to say the least, considering the calibers of players who were there. And my prize packets included this legend, and it is Saruman of the Many Colours. And I decided it was time to build a deck around him. Now, I'm trying to build this in real life, but I decided to try and do it on MTGO as well. And I think my MTGO version is going to be a lot better than my real life version, for reasons we'll see in a minute. But anyway, Saruman of the Many Colours, as you'll probably already know, 3 blue, white and black for a 5/4 Avatar Wizard. It's got Ward. The Ward cost is interesting. Discard an enchantment, instant or sorcery card. It's going to make life complicated for people to kill it, outside of things like Wrath and so on, Damnation. And whenever you cast your second spell each turn, each opponent mills 2 cards. When one or more cards are milled this way, exile target enchantment, instant or sorcery card with equal or lesser mana value than that spell from an opponent's graveyard. Copy the exiled card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Okay then. Now there's 2 ways of building this. You can go down the whole let's just mill everything and get done with it, or you can try and have some fun and just use the second ability as a bit of a backup. And I decided for my deck I'm going to try and use the second ability as a bit of a backup. The Ward's fantastic. It's going to be very hard to remove. I'm not arguing that. But I decided I quite like the idea of milling. Yeah, if I get to cast something, great. Otherwise I'll just be milling my opponents occasionally, which is fine. So the deck for me on MTGO looks very much like this. White, black and blue lands all the way through. I am playing Barad-dûr just to get some walks for massing if a creature died this turn, so yep, hopefully be able to do that. We have got Fabled Passage, Field of the Dead in the deck, and every blue, black and white land I could think of that's a dual that I own, including 4 of each of the basics, just so we've got 4 of each basics in play in case anyone does drop Blood Moon on us. Reliquary Tower, Temple of the False God, make a reappearance in my decks for this week. And then for the artifact ramp side of it, really just gone with Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, each of the talismans of the colour pairs. So yes, they do us a little bit of damage, but it's not the end of the world. So I decided to play. I'm not saying this is anywhere near a tuned deck. I will be honest, I don't think this is tuned. I think it's going to be fun for me to play on stream. But it could be a starting point for some people, and it is quite good fun to play it when I've been testing it out online. So, 1 drops. Condemn, Path to Exile, to deal with the things that annoy us. Birthday Escape, just so we can draw a card and have a bit of ring temptation as things go along. Because you might get a little bit tempted as we go through this deck. Next one, Brainstorm. Opt and Brainstorm. I just switched the order around as I was recording. Not going to go back and change it for that though. Opt and Brainstorm. They're in Ponder, Simmer and Visions. You know all the things they do. You've seen them enough. You've probably seen enough of them in blue decks all the way through. But we've also got Cut Down as a bit of creature removal along with Fatal Push, which is quite nice. And Vampiric Tutor. Now you're probably wondering why Vampiric Tutor's here. Well, I want to get to a point where I can go and get Ashiok or Breach the Multiverse, or even Portal to Phyrexia, when I've got the mana to cast them. So that's why the Vampiric Tutor is here. And it might be that we need to go and make sure we've got a counter spell for our next turn at some stage, because, you know, we have got Arcane Denial here, just in case we need that as well. Anyway, the rest of it. Sunset Revelry gives us a couple of blockers, maybe a bit of life, and maybe a card draw if we're lucky for 2 mana. Arcane Denial I mentioned as one of the only counter spell in the deck. Cyclonic Rift, board control. Bounce everything, deal with the board. Thank you very much and goodbye. Deliberate, to scry 2, then draw a card. Because a lot of what we're trying to do is make sure we've got enough cards in hand at cheap costs so we can cast 2 spells a turn to do the mill thing. So, yeah, you've got to balance it off, and I've probably gone the wrong way on it, but I'm still going to try it out. Experimental Augury does the whole proliferate thing, but we get another card in our hand. And Folio of Fancies. Now, this one's quite nice, because this does give us a kind of a win condition that's a big mill thing. Before our turn, we can sink all of our mana we've got left, which is hopefully at least 2, hopefully 4 or more, and we can all draw that many cards. Go to our turn, untap, and we can get everyone to start milling. Yes, we can't use the cards, but, when one or more cards are milled this way, so you can't do it with that. It doesn't trigger, just so people know. You do have to use Saruman's effect and do the 2 cards to get the spell to trigger, but, it's not a bad way of getting a little bit of extra milling going on, wherever it's gone. I've lost what page. There it is, Folio Fancies. There we go. So, if you want to go down the mill route, it's one way. Likewise, Maddening Cacophony, same idea. You do want to kick it, though, because then you get to mill half their libraries away, and people do get upset when that happens. Snapcaster gets you to flash, you get to come and play it, flash back an instant or sorcery card, that's fine. Think Twice, card draw. Mana Drain is the other counter spell. I thought there was another one. It's there. Animate Dead lets us nick a creature from anyone's graveyard. Enters the battlefield, it loses enchant creature card in a graveyard and gains enchant creature put onto the battlefield. Animate Dead is very confusing, but enchant creature in a graveyard. Go and nick someone else's card that you've milled away. Go with the Throat as a bit of kill, along with Infernal Grasp. Faithful Mending gives us a bit of life gain. Draw a couple, discard a couple. Even Heart Stabber is quite nice, because if we've got 5 more mana values, we get to make it a 3/3 with Death Touch, which is a good blocker and a good attacker, to be fair, in this deck. Glimpse the Unthinkable, just in case we want to really upset someone and just get them to mill for 10. Or, if you're playing a game where you've got to have someone win and they need to manipulate their graveyard, it's one way of doing it. We've mentioned all of the ramp. Trail of Evidence, we get to investigate, so we get to draw some cards. Memory Erosion, whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player mails 2 cards. So, we are going down the mill route a bit hard. Fractured Sanity, each opponent mills 14, and then if we need to cycle it, everyone mills 4. But we'll hopefully get to do the 3 blue mana and get everyone to mill 14. Sanity Grinding, get to the Chroma bit. Now, Chroma is a weird one that we haven't seen come back for a while, but, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each blue mana symbol in the mana cost of the revealed cards, target opponent mills a card, and then puts the cards you revealed this way on the bottom of your library in any order. It could be that someone's gone with one of my favourite cards, Elixir of Immortality, and get everything back in again, or, hopefully you don't hit an Eldrazi. That's the only catch. Invasion of Amoket, it gives us a way to someone mill 3, then each opponent discards a card and we draw a card, and then once we can get it destroyed, which we can do with this deck, it's not easy but it can be done, we can get it flipped into a copy of another creature, which is fine. King Nast's Betrayal, each player mills 4 cards, then you may exile a creature card or planeswalker from the graveyard, and then you get to cast those cards, so late game, bit of a way of nicking stuff from them. Esper Charm, draw 2, destroy an enchantment, or target player discards a couple, fine. And Realm Breaker, the Invasion Tree. Each opponent mills 3 cards, put a land card from their graveyard, or target opponent mills 3, then you get to nick a land card from their graveyard and get it on your side, so ramp up, sort of. Grey Host Reinforcements, exile target player's graveyard and put a +1/+1 counter on it for each number of creatures exiled this way. Not a bad way to win the game. Behold the Multiverse lets us do the Scry and the draw. Dread Waters lets us do another targeted mill at a player. Jace's Sanctum makes all our instants of sorceries cost less, and whenever we cast one, we get to Scry. Murmuring Mystic, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you get a 1/1 bird. Thank you. And Talrun does the same thing, but you get 2/2 drakes. It's up to you which one you want to go with. I like playing both if I'm playing this sort of deck. Invasion of Innistrad is literally targeted removal, and then if we can get it to flip with maybe some of our tokens from here, we can do the whole Deluge of the Dead and just start exiling everything from opponents' graveyards and getting the zombies, which is cool. The a ring to rule them all. The ring tempts you, then each player mills cards equal to your ring bearer's power. That's fine. Then you get to blow the board up, and then each opponent loses 1 life for each creature card in their graveyard. If we've been hitting them with enough mill, that'll be quite a lot. Rona, Sheladred's Faithful also makes an appearance. instants and sorceries we cast means everyone loses a life apart from us. And then we can recast it from our graveyard by discarding 2 cards in addition to paying its other costs. So, yeah, not too sad. Saruman the White turns up as well, the other version of Saruman. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, and mass orcs too. Well, we're going to be casting a lot of spells twice. So, yep, big army coming. The Mirari Conjecture just lets us return stuff, and then when we get to the level 3 of the saga, we get to copy all the instants and sorceries we play that turn, which is cool. Traumatized, target player mills half their library rounded down. Yep, okay. And Sheldred from Battle... March of the Machine. That's what I'm looking for. Each player sacrifices a non-token creature or planeswalker, and then we get to exile it and activate it as a sorcery only if an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. And then it turns into the True Scriptures, which will probably win you the game if you can get it up to level 3 really quickly. Tura Kerin Sky Knight also does the whole, but it gives us ground blockers, so soldier creature tokens. Extract from the Darkness. Each player mills 2 cards, then you put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under our control. Thank you. The Lord of the Nazgul gives us wraiths when we cast our instants and sorceries. I did a whole deck tech around this a while back, so please go back through the channel and find it if you haven't seen it. Phaenax, God of Deception, just gives another way of milling our opponent out if need be. The Mouth of Sauron enters the battlefield, target player mills 3 cards, then a mass Orcs X, where X is the number of instants sorcery cards in that player's graveyard. But it's a Mouth of Sauron. Yeah, I am playing Saruman, and I'm pretty sure he listened to the Mouth at some stage, so had to play him. Hidegisu and Kari comes into play, gets to do a mini kind of brainstorm, and then when it dies, exile top card of your library. Target opponent loses life equal to its mana value. If it's an instant or sorcery, you can play it without paying its mana cost, which is nice. Last 3 cards, 2 of which I've talked about. Breach of the Multiverse, Portal to Phyrexia. We all know what they do by now. And then there's Ashiok. +2. Each player, I draw a card. Everyone else mills 2. -5. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under our control. -11. Gain control of all creatures target opponent controls. If that doesn't win you a game, if you get off at -11, then you've got a bigger problem than being at -11 for Ashiok. But I quite like this version of Ashiok, and it doesn't see that much play, to be fair, so it's quite a fun one to drop into this deck. Like I said, this is my take on Saruman of the Many Colours. I'm not going to say it's the most potent version you can make. I'm sure there is lots of combos I've missed. I mean, at the end of the day, we're in the white, the blue, and the black, and that tends to be the deck that most combo colours end up in. So, yeah, hopefully you're still here at this far down the video. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what combos you think I've missed out that should be in the deck. If you haven't subscribed, I'd really love it if you could subscribe. As I record this, I'm sitting at 216. I'm trying to get to that magic 500 number because of how YouTube has changed things. So thanks for watching the 13-ish minutes of this video. And yeah, leave me a comment. Tell me what you liked, tell me what I should have included, and if you didn't like the video and you hit the dislike button, again, leave me a comment and tell me what I did wrong. Let me know what you want me to do in the future. But that's it now. Thanks for watching. I'll be back very soon with another video. Probably not Lord of the Rings one. Something special for the end of the week. Take care. Bye.